What's going on, guys? Welcome to July's episode of Plus Club, the show where we play the games offered on PlayStation Plus throughout the month, and at the end of the month, we talk about them, and that's what we're going to do today. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
I'm Chris.
And quick reminders that, we played NBA 2K20 and Rise of the Tomb Raider, so hopefully you played those. But next month's games have been announced, and those are Modern Warfare 2 Remastered and Fall Guys, the game that was in beta, and everybody was trying to get a key and going, I wonder if I can play. I saw a guy on Twitter go, hey, can we get some free PS4 keys for when the game releases? And people are like, it is going to be free. What do we think about these games?
I think it's interesting that Fall Guys is going to be a Plus game at launch.
I'm actually super fucking excited about that. The last game that did that was Rocket League, and Rocket League is Rocket League.
Oh, that's true. By providing that, obviously they're going to get it in more hands, and with the way they've been handling the marketing of the game, essentially, they've kind of starved everybody, which is weird because they had him at thousands of keys. So
I mean, they gave me at least fucking 4,000 keys.
So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see that. I'd like to try it on console anyways. I played it on PC when we did the beta. I had fun. Looking forward to seeing what the full game is like. I also think it's just a good game to give out because it's easy for everyone to play.
25 maps at launch. They're going to be adding modes, maps, and customizable items as the game exists. My theory, though, is if they do a typical season pass like most games do, where they have the free section and the pay for section, they're going to make that money.
Yeah.
Because they're going to put this game in everyone's hands. And then people are going to go, you know what? I like this game. Or you know what? Me and my friends play this game a lot. I'm going to invest in like the $5 or $10 season pass for this month. And they'll do it again. And then they'll do it again. Eventually they'll spend that 15 to 20 bucks and the game will be paid for.
Yep.
If they don't do that, well, the community will be big and there'll be plenty of people to buy later.
And well, I'm sure they're getting a Sony check as well.
Yeah.
And then
Sony check's a pretty decent check. It is called Modern Warfare 2 Remastered.
Is it the single player only one, or is that the one? Okay.
Yeah, they fucking did Modern Warfare Remastered with all the shit plus more. And then this one, they're like, campaign only.
I suppose I'll be interested to see what that looks like. But it's kind of weird that you don't get both.
It's horse shit.
Yeah. Well,
I think they didn't want to just open up another Call of Duty server. How many servers you want to fucking start up for that fucking game? Every year you got to do one. And every time you remaster one, you got to redo those servers. And then the old servers probably still exist. You can still play Modern Warfare on PC, the original.
it still allows them to do it in the future, too.
They're not gonna.
Probably not. I remember really enjoying the story in that one, though. So it'll be nice to see if I still feel the same way. And, how it compares visually and whatnot. So.
I will, because I love Modern Warfare 2 and I love Modern Warfare. I think they have great campaigns. I think the first one had great online. The second one had awesome guns, but I didn't like the maps. So yeah, I'm excited to play that. I want to see how it looks as well, because I played it on PC back in the day at the max graphics. So I'm wondering if it's going to be on par with that. I'm pretty sure they redid things, though. I think it means remastered, but I'm pretty sure they had like new lighting and all sorts of shit. I think it's pretty much using the same tech as the most recent Modern Warfare. It's just obviously going to be like redone over the old stuff. So it's not going to look as good as Modern Warfare, the new one. But I don't know. Fall Guys, though, super excited about that. It's really kind of dope to plan to buy a game and they go, hey, we're just going to give it to you. And I'm like, oh. Okay, I was gonna buy your game day one, but I'll fucking take it.
Yeah, except for I had intended to play it on PC.
I did too, and you could still buy it on PC.
It's true. Is it gonna? Do you know if it has cross?
It would be so stupid if they didn't do cross-play and cross-progression, because this game is a press-a-button platformer.
Yeah.
So you're not getting like an edge with that mouse. I mean, I preferred to play it on a controller when I was playing on PC.
Yeah, I remember.
Because it just feels... I think platformers feel better on controllers because you got that stick to kind of get a little bit more control in movement. Obviously not for aiming. But I'm really stoked about it. And another reason I'm really stoked on it is a lot of people didn't play the beta, and a lot of people don't even know what the fuck this game is. I still bring it up and people are like, Fall Guys, what's that? And I'm like, oh, fucking... There's like within certain communities, it's like talked about a lot. And then people are like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
For sure.
So it'll be cool to get it in more people's hands and just have the opportunity to play this game with like anybody who has a PS4 pretty much who pays for PlayStation Plus, I'll be able to play this game with them if they want to play. So I don't think I'm going to be fucking like cracking out on it, but I will definitely be playing it. It's a game I was planning on buying and playing anyway, so it's kind of perfect to. I mean, it'd be great if our Game of the Month getting rolled next month is something I was trying to play that month as well. So, I mean, that'd be perfect because I mean, Modern Warfare 2, Fall Guys, and like, what am I playing? Hunt. If Hunt's not on the list, but if it was, that'd be fucking the best month ever. So I'm stoked, Chris.
Kind of feeling a little blasé about the coming up month. I mean, Fall Guys is going to be interesting to play for a little bit, but I probably won't get too deep into it. Whereas Modern Warfare 2, it was shooters. Mm-hmm. Woo.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of like, let's go in quiet, hoorah, just fucking shooting and shit. And Chris can be like, oh, I love this. It's so good.
This is everything I want in games.
Finally, I've been won over, and I love all FPSs now because of this game. Thank you, Modern Warfare 2.
You did it. You did it.
That'd be quite the endorsement. Fucking Activision needs to get you on screen fucking saying that. You know, I used to hate FPSs, but after playing Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, I am completely reformed. I
am now Pro League shooter fan.
I'm a born-again Pro League shooter fan. I've washed away my sins of only playing MMOs and RPGs and other games that aren't FPSs.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're feeling meh about it.
Yeah.
Which is fair. Yeah, let us know in the comments. Are you excited? Are you not excited? Well, let's get back into it. So game of the month for like another day is Dragon Quest Builders 2. I explained this already, but we're going to be releasing game of the month on the 1st. So tomorrow of the month, and we'll be re-rolling for a new game. So make sure to come back for that. Come back for that conversation. We'll have a lot to say. We have Discord, link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and the podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. We have Patreon, link down below if you'd like to support the channel further than commenting, liking, sharing, and watching the whole video from beginning to end. Holy shit, what a hero you are for doing that. Thank you. I love you so much. And yeah, I think that's everything. So Plus Club, July, we played NBA 2K20, which is a basketball game, and Rise of the Tomb Raider. I feel like we should talk about NBA 2K20 first. So yeah, if you didn't get a chance to play that, it is, of course, a basketball game in which you play basketball with basketball players in pretty realistic-looking graphics and some pretty interesting animations. It offers all the teams you assume you would get in a game like this. A bunch of places to play with that ball, and some legacy basketball players from the old days that I recognize more than newer ones because I don't keep up on basketball, which I thought was kind of neat. And yeah, it's got a bunch of random modes and other stuff, and people wear shorts and run up and down a court and throw balls. We all played it, yes. And I feel like I'm dying to know what Chevy thought of the game when he played it.
Well, if that description isn't a tell of, how much excitement there is behind a sports game around here. It was pretty much what I expected it to be. I did have a couple pleasant surprises, though. The controls, for example, were actually better than I was expecting them to be. A lot of times sports games have really funky controls, which I'm sure work fine for people who have been playing these games and have gotten a chance to get used to them and stuff like that. But I'm not a huge fan of using the stick to do actions, and the last time we played a sports game, that's how it was set up. This one actually does allow you to press a button and hold it and release to shoot, which I much prefer personally. So that was a pleasant surprise and actually made me being able to sit down and play it something that I was able to do without going, I hate this the whole time. So
when I first started playing, I was like, as soon as it was like, you want me to press the fucking stick to do this? I'm like, God. But then I play a little bit further. I'm like, okay, all right, it works. Yeah. It's fine. It's like when you first played Skate and you're like, wait, I gotta flick my stick around to fucking move my board under my feet weird, and then later you're like, I don't want to go back from this. It doesn't make sense. Why was I doing fucking Street Fighter combos and Tony Hawk?
I don't know. I'm kind of stubborn because even like in racing games,
This is true.
I still prefer to use like the D-pad versus the joystick, which I'm sure a lot of people are like, "Arr," or use the steering wheel. And it's the same with fighting games. I use the D-pad, not the joystick most of the time.
I prefer D-pad in fighting games, racing games. I don't
Yep.
care either way.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I just can't make that switch. I have tried in fighting games more than I have with racing games, mostly because I've played more of them, but I always find myself just going right back to the D-pad. So more comfortable. That being said, the button pressing for shooting was more comfortable than the joystick. I did try the joystick a few times to see if I get used to it.
For a second, we said the shooting. I was like, did we play Modern Warfare 2 Remastered already?
Already.
Did the month already go by? Holy shit. This heat's got me crazy.
I did not play like a season or anything like I did last sports game. I literally played like a intro match essentially to this game, and I don't really have any like huge complaints about it or anything like that. It's just not my type of game. It's not something I'm probably ever going to revisit. But overall, my experience was more pleasant than I was expecting it to be, and so actually that's was kind of nice to do. So, or experience, I should say.
Yeah. Chris.
Well,
Get ready. Yeah, just build it up. I'm getting nervous.
I'll put it this way: I'm more inclined to play shooters than I am sports games. And I gave it the good old college try. I really did. I installed the game. I refused to make an account with their private servers to play online because
Me
fuck that
too.
shit.
Yeah, fuck them. They're like, make an account. I'm like, fuck you. I'm not playing. Oh, I can skip this. Okay. Like, I only do this for my show, man. I'm not playing this for fucking fun.
And then I got into the tutorial area of the game, which is kind of like like these little options to choose, like how to run through the basics. But I will give it this game. There's a lot of controls and there's a lot of technicality involved into playing this game. Of like when you're on defense, when you're on offense, if you have the ball, if you don't have the ball, if you want people to block, if you want to dribble this way, if you want to alley-oop, if you want to shoot from here, if you want to shoot this way. Like, I don't want to fucking do dragon punches while I'm trying to play a fucking basketball game. I just want to shoot the damn ball. It got so complicated. And I'm sure it's great for people who really enjoy sports games and really like watching sports and want that more realistic play. But for someone like me who's not like really into watching sports or playing sports games, I was just overwhelmed to the point where I just didn't want to play anymore.
Fair.
And so I didn't. I was like, I'm not going to force myself to play this.
I mean,
didn't
that's
even
your
get,
impression, so.
I didn't even get to a regular match. I just did the practice.
What'd you think of the graphics?
They look great.
Fair.
It is a good looking game.
I
thought
wish
so,
I
yeah.
wish I had more to say about this, but I was so just nonplussed and non-entertained by this game that I just couldn't even force myself to keep playing it.
What'd you think of the shooting mechanic with the stick?
It's an interesting mechanic, but like I said, for me, I would just press square. I don't want to have to do dragon punches and tatsus to, lay up and fucking 3-point
I wish
shots.
it said that when he shot the ball. Dragon punch. Whew.
Tatsumari's Tabukia! What?
That'd probably make the game a little more interesting for you.
Fucking
could make it more
roundhouse
interesting
kick
for a lot of
everybody
people.
around me.
Why does that game not exist? Why is there not a sports game with like fucking weird power-ups and like Super Saiyan golden hair and shit? And
Because it's not the 16-bit days anymore.
where's the Shaolin soccer fucking game?
Jesus Christ. But I mean, I don't know. It's just, I wish it could grasp me, but it just didn't. It was just complicated to the point where I was just like, I don't care anymore. I
Yeah.
don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I mean, at least you tried though. So I mean, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go to my impressions. First off, I'm going to say this. I will never play this game again. But that being said, I actually enjoyed this game, which is weird to say. I started playing it. I was like, oh, God, here the fuck we go again. I remember playing MLB The Show, and I just was not into that shit. I didn't like the way it played, blah, 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 blah. I was probably a little nicer to it when we did the review, but in retrospect, my memory might be fucked up, too. I've been hit in the head a couple times. But I don't think I liked that game a whole lot. And so going to this, I was like, fuck, dude, is this gonna also be like that? Like, is this gonna be a slog? Started playing it, and I actually thought the game looked better than MLB The Show. And it's weird to like compare them, but for me, a person who doesn't play sports games, it's the only thing I can compare it to is another sports game. And so in my brain, I'm like, sports games are popular. They get bought by a lot of people. There's a lot of people like sports. A lot of people want to play these sports games. I know people personally are into these games. So they got to have decent budgets. They got to have a lot of work put into them, you'd think. And then I played MLB The Show, and I'm like, is this really as far as baseball games have come? And then I started playing this game, and I was expecting the same thing. Like, it's going to be like fucking kind of half-assed. And I started playing, like, oh, they actually work on this game a little harder than the guys who make MLB The Show. I don't know if it's the same company or anything. Let me know. I don't think so.
The show's a Sony game.
Okay, well, Sony needs to up their fucking game. One of the only times I'm going to say that so strongly, because this game graphically I think is pretty decent looking. I think the animations are pretty impressive looking. Seeing everyone on court moving around, like, obviously as a video game looks fake, but it looks almost like I'm watching a fucking game. I was really impressed with even when you're practicing shooting at the hoop or whatever. I don't play sports, so shooting at the hoop, the ball, if it misses, will bounce, and this guy will run up and grab it. And if it's at a certain angle, he'll throw it to you if you don't have one in your hand, or he'll run up and wait and throw it to you. And there's a sense of like realism to that. That's not just like gamey. It's not arcadey feeling where the ball just goes bloop into your hand and you chuck it. Like, they actually put the work in to like make it feel like you're actually practicing with people like hanging out with you and helping you practice. And those small details, I was like, these guys actually work on this fucking game. They actually take pride in like trying to make like this immersive experience. I don't even play these fucking games, and I could appreciate that. I thought the controls were weird at first because I don't play games like this. Once I got them down, I think they work really well. I was actually enjoying myself. I was having fun, you know, running around, passing the ball around, trying to block fucking people's shots. And yeah, I mean, I liked this game a lot more than I thought I would. Like I said, I'm not going to play this game again because basketball is not that interesting to me. But as basketball is a real game, and this is a video game that has the same rule set, I was trying to win. I was trying to be better than the other team. I have a competitive aspect to me that came out playing it. I didn't do awesome my first couple matches because I don't know the fucking rules. But yeah, I thought this game was actually pretty decent. Like, I kind of wish other sports games had the same standard to it. I'm not trying to upsell too much, I guess. Anyone who plays this game who likes it probably is sitting here listening to me going like, yeah, I agree. But just as a dude who doesn't play games like this, who's not interested in sports, I was just surprised to play this game and go, this ain't bad. Like, if I was into basketball, I'd love this game probably.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's probably the best impressions and review I could give for a game like this. On my meter of a guy who doesn't play sports, you know, that's like fucking A+ territory on like a lower scale. It's not an A+. But that's about as high as I think I could go outside of maybe a game doing what Modern Warfare 2 Remastered is going to do to Chris might do to me. I play a sports game, I'm like, holy shit, I love sports now. If that happens, then, you know, maybe things will change, but that's not going to happen. I'm 33. I'm not changing my fucking ways. Yeah, so I dug it. I thought it was cool. Not playing again though. Not touching it. I uninstalled it. It's gone. I don't got time. I don't got time for this fucking game.
That's fair.
I don't got time for games I want to play. Let alone games I'm like, oh, that's all right. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the struggle.
It is the struggle.
Yeah,
I don't even have a fucking dedicated MMO I'm playing where I have a schedule and shit. Closest thing I have to that is Hunt, and that's not scheduled at all. That's fucking when my heart's allowing me to let it beat a little harder. Some nights I'm like, not tonight. I'm trying to chill out tonight.
Yeah, I agree with the being pleasantly surprised aspect, and that mostly comes down to the way the game controlled, because it actually did feel good.
Yeah, it played fine.
Yeah.
When I played MLB The Show, I'm like, it's like and I appreciate this, but they're like every aspect of this game has 4 different control types. The way you bat, the way you fucking chuck the ball at someone's head, the way you run around in a field just vacantly staring for anything that moves to catch, whether it's a fucking ball or a pigeon falling out of the sky or some kid falling out of the fucking seats. all that shit had different control schemes. And I'm like, you know what? If I played this game more often, I'd probably have my preferences. And I would really appreciate them. But I've never played this before. I don't know which one's the best one. I'm trying them all out, but fucking I don't really dig any of them. I'm out of my element. And then I play this, and it's like, this is how you play. I'm like, oh, these work.
Yeah. I agree. Especially with the catching kids part.
Yeah. Catch kids if you can. Who the hell do you think I am? Catching kids. Let's recommend it.
I mean, I feel like this is pretty obvious.
You like basketball, 100% you already play it.
Yeah, or sports games in general. If you like competitive games or something that you can play with your friends, I imagine.
If you have them.
I didn't get a chance to really explore how many people can play in a match, but I assume it's a lot.
I assume you can play with people. I hope.
Well, I mean, just like more than 4, though. I assume there's got a pretty large amount of multiplayer.
Nope, it's like every game I've been playing lately where it's like 3 people and you're
just
on
a
your
weird
team. That's
number.
it. Yeah, I'm just
especially
like
on a
3.
1v1 game. That makes no sense at all.
I was literally playing the other day. I scheduled to play a game with somebody, and then somebody else was like, "I want to play too," and I'm like, "Okay, this is a 3-player game." And then we're getting ready to play it, and then a 4th one of my friends showed up, and they're like, "Hey, let's play something." I'm like, this is tough. How the hell do I say no? Like, I'm about to play a 3-player game. He was like, well, just stream it. Let me watch at least. I'm like, I'm being asked so much. 3-player games, man, they're weird. This is probably one of them.
It's a perk to MMOs. I don't have to say no.
Yeah, you can just be like, you can hop on the server and run around the field. We're all playing together.
Pretty much.
It's
If I
perfect.
can find an activity that fits the right amount of people.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I agree with you. If you're a competitive person and for some reason hasn't really dabbled in sports, but maybe curious, which I don't think you exist, but if you do, check out this game. If you're curious about, maybe you are like me and you played sports games when you're younger on like Sega Genesis, like way the fuck long time ago, or you played NFL Blitz or something on 64, and that was like the last one you ever played like me. And you're like, man, I wonder where sports games are at, or I wonder if I could play a sports game now. Maybe you're weird like me and you think about shit like that. You don't just write it off like a lot of people probably would. I would say try this one because it really surprised me. I'm not going to play it again, but it surprised me. So, Chris, if you
I
want
don't like it.
if you want to play a tutorial that will make you quit the game instantly.
I got nothing to add.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to add to that. It's a very specific game. I'm not going to be like, if you like shooters, you can shoot hoops.
If you enjoy farming simulators, try this game.
Yeah, give it a shot. Figure it out. Figure out if you enjoyed that, you might enjoy anything. Let's grade it. I'll go first. I'm going to give it a B-. The reason I'm giving a B- is because a mix of I'm impressed with how good this game is, especially with the other sports game I played that I wasn't impressed with. And I enjoyed it, so it's better than passing. It's better than C. But I'm not a fan of basketball, so that's the counter of not making it a B. It's a B-, and it's not like a hard B-, like, well, it's a hard B-, but it's not like almost a C+. It's almost a B. Like I really and I got nothing negative to say about this game, which is kind of cool. So yeah, strong B-. Chris. No, Chevy. No, Chevy. Chevy.
I wish I could remember what I scored MLB because it's
I'm
gonna
gonna be pissed if I gave that game a B- because I'm gonna come back and change it because MLB is not a B.
I don't think I can go B-, but I think C+ is pretty fair. I do think the game does everything it's supposed to do plus a little more for me. I don't have any complaints about the game other than the same complaint I have about all sports games, which is there's a shit ton of menus, and unless you're just really into basketball, I have no idea what any of these modes are, what any of this stuff is.
All these games have they're like rivaling mobile games on the amount of fucking buttons and menus there are on the screen.
It's insane.
As soon as you start the game, it's like all these things. I'm like, where do I go?
Yeah.
Where's the game at? They're like, the game's here. Eric, what do you want to do?
I mean, in all fairness, I borderline feel that way with like Battlefront and Battlefield as well. Just their menus are just huge.
EA's awful at that.
Yeah.
All their games are like mobile games. So it's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. I just got here. What the fuck should I do? Like,
Yeah, and really, I don't have anything negative to say other than like obviously like personal gripes, but that's not the game's fault, and I'm not the right demographic. So, the fact that I was able to take some enjoyment out of it, I think deserves at least a C plus. So.
Chris.
I've been feeling real bitchy lately.
Same.
And just to be fair to the game, because it doesn't appeal to me, but it plays well, I'm gonna give it a C. It passes.
I ain't too bitchy.
That's all I have.
I thought that B is for bitchy. You're about to give it a B plus.
Fuck no. Fuck no. That's all that really I have all to say about it. It passes. It's a playable game. I didn't enjoy it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah. All right. Let us know in the comments what you guys think of, was it? NBA 2K20. Uninstalled. Never going to play again. But it's a good game. What did you think of that basketball game? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you play these regularly? Have you never played a game like this before? Did you play sports games back in the day? And like me, and you come back and try them out? Did you play it just because you're here for Plus Club? Which if you do, thank you. Or did you not play it at all? What did you think of it? What would you grade it? And if you are one of them mythological, fabled sports players, sports fans in video gaming, is this the best one, or is there a better one? And if there is a better one, let me know, because I'm curious. And what's your favorite sports game? What's your favorite sport? I'm curious. Let us know in the comments below. Second game we played this month was one of the Tomb Raiders, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
20th anniversary or something like that.
Yeah.
28th, fucking 56th anniversary. If you didn't get a chance to play that, it is a third-person shooter, continuing the, I don't know if this is the second or third game of the new Tomb Raider series. If you didn't play those back in the day,
we're failing today.
those are third-person action puzzle games that came out on PlayStation, have a long legacy of being good, then shitty, and then what these are now. In them you raid tombs, shoot things, solve puzzles, jump, get your ass kicked every 5 seconds. Yeah, you play as Lara Croft. The British lady
Lara Croft
had a dad. Might have been crazy, might have been not. We all played it. And who started last time?
I did.
Chris, what'd you think of this Tomb Raider?
I haven't played a Tomb Raider since the original Tomb Raider on PlayStation.
Damn.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's fucking... There's been so much you missed.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen the movies.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Man, what are you doing right now?
He's just telling us how disconnected he is from this whole fucking shit show.
Pretty much from the character and the whole fan base of it and whatnot, and anything negative reviews about what's happened with the newer Tomb Raider iterations. But playing this game, I kind of enjoyed it actually. I like these kind of archaeological puzzle adventure games with the shooting, even though I'm not a big fan of shooting games.
I love these archaeological games with the shooting. There needs to be more. Where's the genre at? Let's get some more.
But the personal phobias really creep in when I'm playing this game, because you are in the middle of the woods at night, and that just scares the shit out of me. Literally any sound I hear from any distance, and I'm firing arrows off it, just like fucking Rambo. But I really enjoyed it because there's all these cool little systems involved in it. It's not really a survival game because you don't have to eat anything to survive, but it is a survival. You're hunting animals to collect their pelts, and you're gathering resources to upgrade your equipment and craft arrows on the fly. And you can play this game completely in stealth, which I really enjoyed. Kind of work my way around the environment and killing off enemies or subduing enemies in ways just so I wouldn't get caught. The story I really honestly couldn't care about, to be blunt.
It's fair. Very fair. I do think it's interesting though that Tomb Raider kind of started the essentially what Uncharted took over. Although I do think they're pretty different. I know it's easy to kind of draw parallels there or go something copy something, but coming back as a series, they had to figure out like, well, we can't copy the game that people perceive to have copied us, even though I'd argue Uncharted is trying to be Indiana Jones more than Tomb Raider. So what do we do different? And so there's a lot of shit that it takes after gameplay wise and cinematic wise of like Uncharted, but the whole crafting and collecting system, that's not Uncharted. So
No.
it's it's trying something to differentiate itself and give you a different experience, which as someone who's played every Uncharted and loves Uncharted, it does feel different with some echoes of, hey, we also got these cinematic, you jump and whoa, and just like almost slide off some shit, and someone's like, Laura, and like catches you every 5 seconds and shit.
That being said, the parkour system in the game felt lacking. I was really impressed with the parkour system in the Nathan Drake games, but it felt very clunky in this game. Like, if I didn't hit the exact angle to climb a tree, then I would just be jumping around the tree. Or if I wasn't facing the front half of the box at the right angle, moving slow enough to open the box, I would just be running in circles around the box.
In all
There's,
fairness, that
like-
is very Tomb Raider.
Yeah. There's some sort of weird, like, detection body
They've all
box
been
system.
like that. I don't think on purpose either. Like the first 3 games had this weird like it was on a D-pad. So like when you turn, you like did this like weird waddle, and you would like turn your body while shifting, and then you press forward, and there's like this weird like forward momentum, and you could kind of lean while running, and then you had to like press a button, you would like commit your whole body weight and just go flying, and there's no like air control to it. And like you had to like land and grab exactly where you wanted to. And then later they made these like weird 3D ones. I forgot what they're called. Well, I guess those are 3D as well, but like more, I guess not pixel. I don't know why I even said it that way. Just newer looking games at the time. And those ones, the fucking platforming was weird, and jumping around had like this weird lock on system. And I think there was like a fucking grappling hook or some shit. I don't remember. But, and that one had a weird, this one doesn't have the same, but like the early ones, all this weird aiming system shit. I don't know. They're fucking weird. But yeah, it's kind of a thing that Tomb Raider's always kind of had when it comes to like, it's jumping around. And I don't feel like they did it intentionally.
Well, I don't know. It was kind of jarring. It was making me wish for Uncharted games, to be honest, just because the parkour system's so smooth in those games. Like,
Yeah.
it felt effortless, and it felt like I could go where I wanted to go and not be punished by like weird wall positionals or the way my character is facing. I could just like, okay, I need to go over here and just easily guide myself that way.
I mean, in Uncharted, you can just be running, getting shot at, running with an AK, shooting, and then jumping off of a cliff, grabbing a rope, flying into the air. Someone throws a grenade at you in the air. You catch the grenade and go, woo, over your shoulder, fly off the rope, come down, punch a dude in his head, roll into some bush and start stealthing. Like, that's just that game. And then in this, you're just like locked onto the wall, and then you go to jump, and she, for some reason, doesn't grab onto the next thing. She goes, whoo, just just off a cliff somewhere.
Off into the ether.
I just got an email for Fall Guys beta. Okay. I was like, God, Fall Guys is everywhere right now. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I the animals in the game generally spooked me, to be honest, because animals in the woods frighten me.
They should.
They
That's
should.
that's
Yeah.
our whole evolution. We've been dealing with those fucks. It's still hard fucking ingrained into our brains.
I will say there's this really cool music interaction in the game, in that like the background music will play normally, but like if you're being like getting too close to like wolves per se, like this weird drum beat will pick up in the background, and as you get closer and closer to them, it gets louder and louder, but it still sounds like it's incorporated into the actual background music of the game. I thought it was a really neat system.
Yeah, there's a couple of games that have like layered tracks like that. It has one track playing, and then has a separate track that's part of the song that slowly builds that music up or whatever. And I always kind of like that. It's always an interesting touch. I mean, even in Final Fantasy 14, there's that one dungeon or the fuck you took me in that had like separate songs that play, but they're the same song, just different versions.
It's all the 2.x dungeons.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Yeah.
I appreciate that kind of stuff. So
Nier Automata is really good about that too. So
yeah,
That one has like 3 or 4 different tracks playing at once, though. So,
That game's just awesome in general.
anything else?
No. I could go on more about pros and cons of it, but I'll yield the floor.
All right, I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna piss people off. I apologize if you like these games. I can't. It's an understatement for me to say I'm just so happy for you. But I played the first game, and I think this is the second one or third one. I don't know. It's one of the. I think there's 3. How many of these are there? And that game was clunky feeling and had like this weird obsession. And I'm not disturbed easily. I mean, I am sometimes with certain things, but like in-game violence, stuff like that, and like I'm not gonna go, oh my god, but like that game tonally was so confused in how bad they wanted it to feel gritty that they really overdid every opportunity to just murder the fuck out of Lara Croft and just savor the flavor of it for a while. And not only, it's not just like, oh god, this is awful, but also just like it lasted for like 6 seconds, like real seconds. 1, 2, 3. Guy choking around, she's gasping for air. Someone's shooting her in the head, and like she basically is just sitting there, head bucking and shit, making weird noise, stuff like that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, going down the river, and then you fly into a bundle of sticks and just get fucked up, and you stab through you, and you're just fucking freaking out. I'm just like, dude, why do you hate her this much? This is crazy. I've never seen anyone treat a character, their main character, this awful. They essentially treat her like fucking Meg from Family Guy. I mean, like, god damn. This game is the same without the excessive deaths, I guess. But like, the tone of this game takes me out of it so quickly. There's this movie back in the day called like Vertical Limit, and it was this movie where they had to like climb a mountain, and within like the first 2 minutes of this movie, someone's like walking down the snow and the music's all calm, and then a guy trips and he flies down, his leg gets stuck between 2 rocks and breaks, and as soon as that happens, he's just like, dun 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 dun, and people are like, oh my god, and they come grab him and stuff, and then a helicopter takes him away, and then 5 minutes later there's some other crazy thing happening, and I'm like, this is just popcorn entertainment. I get it, but it's like, it's so cheesy. And this game felt just like that. I had like PTSD from that experience playing this. The game starts and it's just so like intense already. They're like, are we going up? Yeah, we're going up. You should stay behind. Ha, I'm not doing that. And then you go ahead without him anyway. As soon as you get on the mountain, you're just flying into shit. Every fucking ledge you touch breaks apart like dust as soon as you touch it. And you're always falling, going, just hitting it, like falling into shit. This part where like you're going across something, it fucking, of course, breaks off. You fall down. He's like, Laura, and she's like, I'm okay. And then you got to do this whole like go up this rock wall thing, and it's like that didn't even need to happen. Nothing changed from that scenario. And that's this whole game. It's like every 5 seconds, you're flying into something and you're getting fucked up. When that story arc ends, which is right at the beginning, and it's like overly intense, you go to another area, and as soon as you fucking start that area, and I'm sorry for spoilers, you're in a car with this dude, and a helicopter starts following you, and instantly Lara Croft's like, you ratted me out. He's like, I'm sorry, they paid well. And then like they shoot through the car, kill him instantly, and then you fucking crash. You come out, you're all fucked up. She's just like wandering around all fucked up, and then all of a sudden you just jump on a ledge and you're just going. It's like nothing happened. I'm like, she just gets beat up constantly. It's like they're trying to treat her like fucking John McClane doesn't get this fucked up in Die Hard. And they space it out. You know, there's some parts where he's sitting around with the radio, smoking a cigarette, talk with people, and this, it's like boom, 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 fuck her up, throw her into some shit, have some traps, shoot some stuff at her, like fucking. And I might be overly, I guess, annoyed by this, but like I can't enjoy the game because like the gameplay is okay. I wager to say it's a AAA game. It's Crystal Dynamics, it's IDOS, it's under fucking Square Enix. But like the quality somewhere between like an indie game and a AAA game. Graphically looks pretty decent. But like animations are stiff sometimes. The traversal I think is pretty fucking kind of shitty. I've played some like lower end games that felt better than this. I don't know. I think it just comes down to, and maybe I just like Uncharted a lot, but I don't even like to compare the two. I don't think it's really fair to compare the two games, because they both do pretty different things. But every time I've given two of these games a chance, and every time I play it, I'm just constantly like, the audience they're going for with this is not me, and that's not, I'm good or bad, or people who enjoy this game are good or bad or whatever. That's stupid. But I just feel like I know a bunch of people enjoy these games, so I'm just not the audience. I'm not, I guess, looking for that popcorn flick. But it sucks because Uncharted feels like a popcorn flick to me as well. But there's like heart to it. There's like this charm to it. Whereas this feels just so desperate for you to believe how fucking gritty it is. That just distracts me so hard from things that I don't even think I would judge too hard. Like the traversal, I don't think is good, but it's not the worst either. But they're so trying to get some kind of dynamic reaction from you by making the rock break off like they do it more than Uncharted. I think Uncharted does it too much sometimes. Although with every Naughty Dog game, they make fun of themselves for something they did too much in the last game. So I think, they're kind of in on it as well. They can kind of poke at themselves. Whereas like this seems so much like the first game that I played in so many ways. And like Chris said, I don't care about the story. I think it's kind of cliche. It's expected. It's fucking Tomb Raider, but so I'm not expecting, something amazing, but story doesn't do anything for me. So yeah, playing this, I'm just like, for a game with crafting and hunting and using a bow and arrow, stuff like that, there's so many other games I'd rather play. If I want to play like a game where I'm like jumping around, shooting, and like trying to figure out puzzles, I'll play Uncharted. I mean, like, the quality is just so much higher, which I know is kind of unfair. It's Naughty Dog, but yeah, I did not enjoy this game. I didn't enjoy the first one either. So I don't know if there's a third one, or if I don't know how many games there are. I stopped paying attention, but I really struggled with this because with the first game, I was like, yeah, I'm not really into it. And this one, as I'm playing, I'm like, I'm not really into it. But I'm like, I just straight up don't like this game. I'm not into it. Not like Drawn to Death, not like Life is Strange, just like, it's not for me. It's not for me. So I didn't enjoy it.
All right.
I had to get that off my chest.
I think I fall somewhere in between you two. Because there are parts of the game
Chris kind of fell in between me and him. Because, I mean, he liked certain parts and went, I don't care about the fucking story.
Well, he also said that he enjoys it, though.
Yeah.
So, as for, I don't know if I'd go that far. But I also, I don't have a lot to say against it, other than I completely agree with the game has a very huge obsession with constantly putting Laura in stress, physical stress constantly.
Like I considered, because I knew when I said this, there's gonna be fans of the game. They're gonna go, it's not that bad. I was gonna make it like a super cut of every fucking couple seconds, her just going, Laura, you sold me out. Just like bad shit happening constantly. I'm like, this doesn't happen to anybody else.
Yeah, well, and even going past
this is so mean.
Even going past the mountain when you're in the ruins, and the game teaches you about traps. The first time that happened, I was like, there's gonna be a lot of these, and sure enough, like, there's a lot of them, like, right off the bat. So, like, I understand wanting to make, like, the game, like, stressful to a point where, like, people are, like, on edge a little bit, but it wasn't so much on edge as much as I was just, like, almost, like, paranoid at that point. Like, how many times am I gonna have to, like, jump off a pitfall or make sure I don't step in the
because it's made
round
apparent
thing.
early in the game that they are going to throw something at you, no matter what. Like, that, it's just constantly in their fucking philosophy of making that game, of making it harrowing. it became predictable. So I mean, early on, I got past the beginning, but I bring up the beginning because it just throws you into this. Like, there's that part where it's like fucking El Dorado or some shit. I don't know, but like you're going through like this like temple place,
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm talking
you're
about.
going through a crack, and there's scorpions everywhere, and
Everywhere.
there's some neat parts where you see one like crawl into the mouth of the skeleton. I'm like, oh, it's neat, but like I'm listening. It's the biggest cliche in the fucking book. The music starts going down, and I noticed that the camera angle is looking at Laura, but it's also open enough to look down that hallway, and so it's gonna try and scare me. I already know this, and I hear the music go down, and I'm like, here it comes, and then her light goes out, and I'm like, oh, and it goes, "Bah!" And I'm like, oh my god, dude, come on, come on.
Yeah, and you know, to continue on that, essentially the game is constantly throwing something at you, like nonstop. There's not a lot of time to breathe, and you know that could be exciting for some people. For me, it makes it hard to enjoy the journey if I can't stop to soak things in, I guess.
I feel like the people who made this game watched Dodgeball, and that part where they're throwing the wrench at that kid. If dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. And they're just chucking wrenches at him,
Yeah.
and just fucking him up. I feel like they watched that and they're like, let's make this into a video game, but with Laura Croft.
I mean, kind of. As far as the puzzles go, actually, the puzzles did not drive me crazy because they weren't like, at least in the beginning of the game, I did not get very far into the game. They weren't like so crazy that I was like pulling my hair out trying to figure them out. I'm not huge on puzzle solving, anyways, so I appreciate that they were, you know, straightforward and you know, you just take a moment to look around and you figure it out. I do think that visually the game is pretty good looking. I do think the facial mocapping is good. The movement animations are hit or miss. The platforming is stiff and a little sticky, but that doesn't bother me too much because it just comes off more like gamey, I guess, than it
it is
does
gamey, yeah.
realistic. And I don't really mind one way or another. Just I didn't get far enough to like, you know, go through. Okay, are we trying to be realistic or trying to be a game? And honestly, a lot of the time I did feel like they were trying to make like a game out of it, which is fine. I did not manage to get far enough to get into any combat just because I got bored. I don't play a lot of games like this anyways. I haven't even really played the Uncharted games besides the ones I've been obligated to play for the channel. So I don't really,
They're good.
I'm not the right person. I do appreciate watching those games, but I like can't sit down and play them. They don't hold my attention long enough. So, I mean, I can't fault the game for that. That's obviously something that I struggle with myself. Chris brought up the music, and I can't remember any of the music. So, I don't know.
I just try to think of any of the music in the game, and I can hear bum 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 bum, which is Uncharted. I love that song.
Yeah, what else? I mean, I don't know what else I can really say about it. It does occasionally attempt to give you like a view, but it's almost immediately followed by like peril. So like, it kind of bummed me out because there was a few times where I was like, they were panning out to show a view. I was like, oh, we get to enjoy some scenery, you know, for a moment. And it's like,
saying
in
Ghost
that
of
scenery,
Tsushima?
danger. And I'm like, damn it, dude, come on. Like just a moment. Pacing's an issue in this game.
Pacing's a motherfucker. That's a great way to put it.
So
I kind of bitched for like 20 minutes there, but my complaint's pacing. The
Yeah.
game is paced fucking crazy. I mean, again, right at the beginning of the game, when you're climbing that mountain, I swear I felt like I was playing God of War. I felt like that mountain was a fucking titan trying to kill me. She's climbing it, and every fucking section of that mountain is throwing rocks at her. There's avalanches all around her. There's all the fucking snow beneath her feet slipping out. The whole mountain's just fucking tearing apart.
Yeah.
Like she's inside the Death Star when it's getting ready to blow up. I mean, like, it's like, what the fuck is this mountain? I've been on plenty of mountains. Never seen one doing that.
I guess the only other thing I can really add is I did appreciate, and I usually do appreciate in games where you can examine things and get like more lore, and I especially appreciate that
More Laura.
she vocalizes it when you click on things. So she talks about where you are, the history of it, and stuff like that. So if I was, you know, more invested in what she was doing, that system I like, where you can actually like examine and find things and get information from it. I also appreciate that like I couldn't translate something because I didn't have the skill, because the game does have, a skill system and stuff like that, which I do think is a good thing. I just have to, want to play to get to that stuff, unfortunately. There's a lot here that I think had a lot of potential, but unfortunately the pacing and tone of the game throws me off. So I struggle to play this game for sure.
I think this exact game made by somebody else would be good. I think whoever's in charge, that they have the fucking power and the developmental power to make this game.
Well, I know plenty of people like these games too, though,
I know. That's what I said earlier. People, a lot of people like these games, but a lot of people also don't talk about them all the time. So it's interesting, but I feel like under better leadership and better priorities, this game could be tighter than it is. It feels kind of sloppy in some ways, and the pacing is a huge factor of that, but also how janky it is when you jump around doing stuff, which it's not even that bad, but it's also not that good. So it's like, I don't know. It's just everything about the game feels almost pretty good, but just a little bit off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one cared about the story.
No. I mean, you kind of said it earlier, but like,
I said a lot of things.
it started, explaining why you're doing this thing. And I'm like, okay, so it's like every other, like, I'm going to go find these ruins storyline. So,
which is cool because the first game was like an origin story. And then this, I think, is the second one. And they're trying to be like, now you're the Tomb Raider. And so it's trying to like be like the old Tomb Raiders without being like as goofy. We're in like fucking revealing swimsuits and driving boats through fucking Venice and shit, and unloading at people with machine guns.
and I completely appreciate that they have like moments where like there's a cut scene to play out, because if it's going to be a story-centric game, you kind of need time to tell a story. They're not doing it while you're playing. So
Do you think Laura Croft in these games is a likable character? Do you enjoy her?
I don't really feel one way or the other.
That's kind of my problem. I don't dislike her, but I don't give a fuck about her either. Which is something that, and I don't want to compare the two too much, but like, it's one thing Uncharted has fucking in spades on fucking this game.
Yeah, it's easy to like Drake.
All the characters, even
Yeah.
the villains, are interesting.
It's fair.
Like the writing is like when the cutscenes are happening, I'm like watching. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I like this. They're sitting around, they're talking about stuff, past adventures, where they're gonna go, what they're gonna do. Hopefully, this will happen, but this might happen. There's like an adventure aspect to it, but like this, like, it's just trying to drive home that she's after something and she's gonna get it no matter what the cost, and if it fucking kills her, and it will try and just murder the shit out of her, but she can't die. And like everyone with her is just understands the danger of it, but there's no like character development. It's just like, oh, that's her boy. Okay, like that's not Sully. There's no like relatable relationship here. And so, and I'm not even trying to bitch about it, but like, because I don't, like I said, I don't play the game and go, oh God, I can't stand her. I don't feel anything when she talks. She's like, my father, blah, blah, blah. And someone's like, oh, your father was crazy. He's like, well, or she's like, well, I'm going to find out. I'm like, I don't know your dad. I don't give a fuck about him. I've seen the movies. Same shit happened in that. Fucking earlier games. Same shit. I get it. Let's make it interesting. Make her charming. That'd be cool. Or make her badass. I don't think her getting her ass kicked left and right is badass. If she was like John Wick about it, that'd be cool. He gets his ass kicked sometimes, but he fucking murders everybody. It's dope. He'll get a good hit in, and then he fucking flings them and just pops them. Boom, 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 boom. John Wick's been coming up a lot on this. I need to watch that again. I never saw the third one.
I didn't see the third one either.
I've never seen any of them.
They're cool.
They're very good.
They're cool.
Yeah.
Some of the best action movies in a while. Outside of Mad Max. Whoo, that's a good one. Anyway, we're talking about the Tomb Raider.
I think we're creeping into recommendations.
If you like third-person shooters, if you like platformers, if you like puzzle games, if you like Uncharted, if you like the older Tomb Raider games or the idea of newer Tomb Raider games, if you played the original new Tomb Raider game, you're gonna probably want to play this. If you like games where you craft stuff, where you have to hunt animals to get resources to build stuff and make things, not build stuff like, Conan, but more so like, in Far Cry, you go out, you get pelts, you do stuff with it. Bunch of games like that, which is something I like to do a lot in games. This game, the first one of these games came out when the bow and arrow craze was happening. Every game had to have a bow and arrow. This continues that. So if you like bow and arrows in games, this has that. If you like games that are cinematic, if you like Hostel, the movie, which is just gore porn, you might dig this series. If you like Lara Croft as a character, you played Tomb Raider and you have an affinity for that character, obviously there's all sorts of games like, me and Solid Snake or Big Boss, anything. I'm like, oh God, I love these characters. If you dig Lara Croft, definitely check it out. If you like adventure movies, Indiana Jones or anything like that, it's definitely worth checking out as well. If you like third-person shooters, I think I already said that. Yeah.
I don't know if I can add anything to that list. You pretty much hit everything I was thinking.
Bullseye.
Yeah. Single player storyline games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you covered it.
I liked it the least. I'm like, here's all the reasons you should play. I'm fair. I'm balanced. I'm gonna grade it. I'm gonna give it a C minus. It's passing, but I don't like it. It does everything fine. It doesn't do anything great. It's not bad. I just don't dig it. So I can't give it a D. I don't want to punish it. Because I just recognize I'm not into it. But I can't give it a C either, just because I have to I can look at the game and go, it's absolutely passing. And to someone who really digs this game, I'm sure you'd grade it way higher. And I completely understand. It's just, not for me. So I can't give it a passing, normal C. Just because I don't want to play this. It's not even that I won't play it. I don't want to. I don't want to come back and play it. If someone's like, hey, you should play that, I'm gonna be like, I don't want to do that. The only reason I'll be playing this or any other Tomb Raider game in this is if I hear really good things, or if it comes out on PlayStation Plus or some shit, and I gotta do it for the show, which I will. But really fucking weird month for me. Went in NBA game, I'm like, this ain't bad. And I play this, I'm like, God damn it. This again, dude, come on. I was hoping to get fucking way better. So yeah, C minus. Chris.
See, I'm teetering here, but I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a weak B minus. Strong C plus, weak B minus, just a B minus. Mm-hmm. Because I did enjoy playing it. I minus some of the clunkiness out of it, but I probably won't go back and play it again.
Yeah.
Because I just don't care about the story.
Which I think is the missing link in that game. If it had a cool story or characters that you were like, I love these characters, I think it'd be so much easier to even come back and overlook a lot of the aspects of it that I don't like, but obviously you dug some of the stuff, so
yeah, it was fun, but just empty feeling.
Yeah. Kind of like Mafia 3. I liked Mafia 3, but it was fucking vacant. There wasn't a whole lot going on in that game. It's cool. Everything about it I liked, but it's just missing a lot. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Did you guys not finish this?
Where's the game?
Yeah, where the hell's 50% of this game? You guys were on a good track here, and then you're like, ship it. It's not done. It plays. There's a beginning and end. Chevy. Oh, we could have done this in an hour. We're getting so close.
C plus, I think.
C plus?
Yeah. Because I do think, it's a fully functional game. It doesn't really do anything wrong. It's just not within my taste. And there are things about it I do actually enjoy, but not enough to save the game for me. So,
Rise of the fully functional game.
yeah. I don't know, because I really like my biggest, even like, I can nitpick here and like this here. At the end of the day, I just kind of don't want to play it. So, yeah, I don't want to, as you said, punish it either though, because there is a following for it. I recognize that there is a game there that somebody's going to enjoy. I'm not somebody. So
It's not bad.
Not
And that's
bad.
just me talking to myself at this point, because you guys are, liked it a little bit more than I did. But it's not, I just want to reemphasize, it's not a bad game. I get annoyed with it. Like if I had like a little brother who's annoying as fuck, like, I don't hate him, but I'd be like, dude, you're fucking annoying as shit. That's what this game does to me. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, come on.
yeah.
So B, I almost said plus, B minus, C plus, C minus.
Yes.
All fair, kind of low, kind of in the middle. Makes sense. Anything else you guys want to say?
Next month will be interesting.
I'm stoked for next month. There's going to be a conversation and some interesting grades next month. We'll see what game of the month we get, though. I'm really excited about that because I have access to that list. I know what games are on there, and it's pretty much a lot of games I want to play. So there's a while ago where we had like 5 games on the list. They've all been eliminated. We've played them all now. But in there, I'm like, I don't want to fucking play that. But it's on the list, so we had to play it. And I have a hand in making sure those games are on that list. So it's bad when I'm just like, all right, I'll play it.
Yeah, time goes by, opinions change. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, game of the month, fucking. I never graded those games bad. Those are all back burner games, so I have an interest in them. So
yeah, though we have revisited games and had lesser opinions.
this is true.
Like Dungeon Defenders 2, I think it was a good example of that.
That and Portal Knights. Chris doesn't remember them.
Check those episodes out.
Oh, I remember him.
Okay. He had this vacant stare. I was like, oh, he's going into the shadow realm. Yeah. So what are we doing? Is this over?
We're leaving.
All right. Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think about Rise of the Tomb Raider? Is there a thing before that? Is it?
NBA 2K20?
No. That game as well. But is it Lara Croft Rise of the Tomb Raider? Or
I
is
think it's just Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider. What'd you think of that game? What'd you like? What'd you dislike about it? Did you like it a lot? Are you with me? I think I'm the only person who's this hard on this fucking game, which is fine. And I'm okay with not being part of the group. It's not very often though. And yeah, what would you grade it? What do you think of the direction they've taken Tomb Raider in? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is there something you'd like to see them implement in this game to maybe make it better, or something that's missing in it? What do you think of Lara Croft in the new Tomb Raider games? Do you like her? Do you think she works? Do you dislike her? What do you think of the treatment of her? What do you think about the fuck they're doing to this character all the time? Because Jesus Christ, I feel bad. I'm like, why? Why do you hate her this much? You made her. Why are you doing this to her? And yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of Plus Club. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Dude, I want to get rid of the Tumblr, but also I guess TikTok's going to get banned.
I keep hearing that. But
Yeah, well, it seems... I'm not getting into politics, but it seems pretty legitimate because there's some countries already done it. So soon, that's going to be like 2 things I'm going to mention in that little spiel. So it's going to make my job and life so much better. We have a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. We have Patreon link down below as well. You can support the channel if you like it enough. If you don't, you can still just watch the episode and hit that like button. I appreciate that. It helps the channel. And yeah, other things. We have a game of the month coming up in less than 24 hours. So be ready for that. You've been warned. And yeah, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
Until the next episode, have a good night, guys, and take it easy.